Hi and welcome to my video. Today I'm going to show you how to change a Eurolock cylinder lock. So a Euro cylinder lock. Now the first thing you've got to understand about these locks, they have a lever here. Alright. When we insert this lock into the door, the lever has to be flush here. So if your lock is a thumb turn lock, right, you can use the thumb turn, no problem. You'll be inserting this lock this way, and this will be on the interior, this will be on the exterior. Also, most of the locks come in different sizes, so you need to work out which size lock fits your door. I'll come on to that a little bit later. Okay, so first of all, remember that the lever, when taking the lock out of the door or inserting it into the door, that lever must be flush. Here's the door where I'm going to remove the lock and replace it with another lock. First of all, what I need to do is remove this screw. Okay, now I've removed the screw. Alright, the lock, I have to, as I said earlier, align the lever. Sometimes, there you go, and that is simply how you remove the lock. Okay, we've got three different locks here. One that I just removed. They're all different sizes, and I will come to that, how to size the lock that you need. Alright, but I'd just like to point out some security details. Criminals with an ordinary lock like this can snap this lock. It has a weak spot right here where the screw from the side of the door goes in and holds the lock in place. So if this lock cylinder is sticking out of your door, criminals can put a vice grip on here and snap the lock, and by snapping it they can just turn the lever very easily from outside and enter your property. This is not a good thing. Now the lock makers are coming up with more security features. Here is a sacrificial line. Okay, if a criminal tries to snap, it will break off here, not here. By breaking off here, then the criminal cannot get a grip of the rest of the lock, and the lock will stay locked. They will not be able to open it. However, your key will still be able to fit in there and open the lock with your own key from the outside. And then all you need to do is change the lock. When you take over a new property and it already has locks installed, the one problem that you might have is you don't know who has a copy of the key. Now, a good security lock like this one would cost around about £20 or maybe 27 US dollars, or close to 30 euros. To replace the whole lock is kind of expensive, but what most locksmiths, a good locksmith, can do is change the key barrel. Okay, and that would cost you about £10 to change. And by changing the key barrel, you make the old key useless. It won't fit the new barrel. Okay, so if you've already got Eurolocks installed in a new property that you're moving into, I would suggest that you would go to a good locksmith and ask them to rekey the lock, and they will rekey the lock, make new keys for the lock, and you've got the lock that's as good as new to use. So that's a good tip there to save a little bit of cash instead of forking out on whole new locks, because if you've got maybe 3 or 4 locks to replace and you want good security locks, you can, for the price of one lock, you can have all 3 locks rekeyed. Okay, let's go back to the door and show how I refit the lock. Okay, the locks for these uPVC doors or these Eurolock cylinders come in different sizes, and the screw that goes in here to hold your lock in place, that will be the center of your lock. So from here flush to here, right, will be one size, and from here to here flush will be another size. So you could have a lock that's 35-40 centimeters, or maybe it's 40-40. But what is important is that, especially on the outside, that your lock is flush with the door. You don't want your lock sticking out of here, because that would attract criminals who would snap your lock. Have a look at lock snapping on YouTube and you'll see what I mean. Okay, let's replace the lock. Okay, here we have the lock. We placed it in the hole here. We have to make sure that this lever, alright, is flush, and then just insert the lock and push the lock all the way in. You want to get the lock flush with the door. Okay, that way anybody who tries lock snapping cannot get a grip of the lock. Okay, it's a security feature. Then the next and final job is to replace the screw. And there you are. Job's a good one.